This is one of the most useful Part F videos for a junior mechanical engineer, because this is the point where people usually stop thinking in general terms and start asking what numbers actually apply. So this video is based on the latest published 2026 edition of Approved Document F, Volume 1, Dwellings for England. It was published on 24th March 2026, and it takes effect on 24th March 2027 for most non-HRB work, and 24th September 2027 for work connected with higher risk building work. Always check which edition applies to your project before relying on it in live design work. The first important point is where extract ventilation is actually required. Paragraph 1.13 says, extract ventilation to the outside should be provided in kitchens, utility rooms, bathrooms, and sanitary accommodation. So straight away, the document is telling you which rooms matter most when you are thinking about extract design. Then paragraph 1.14 says that extract ventilation can be intermittent or continuous. Paragraph 1.15 then points you to table 1.1 for intermittent extract, and paragraph 1.18 points you to table 1.2 for continuous extract. Let's start with intermittent extract. From table 1.1, the minimum intermittent extract rates are 30 litres per second for a kitchen with a cooker hood extracting to the outside, 60 litres per second for a kitchen with no cooker hood extracting to the outside, 30 litres per second for a utility room, 15 litres per second for a bathroom, 6 litres per second for sanitary accommodation. Now this kitchen distinction is one of the easiest places for junior engineers to get caught out. A kitchen does not automatically qualify for the 30 litres per second case just because it has a hood over the hob. The key issue is whether the hood is actually extracting to the outside. If it is not, then you are in the 60 litres per second case. The document reinforces that point around the kitchen extract guidance and its diagrams, so this is not just a wording technicality, it changes the actual design requirement. Now let's look at continuous extract. From table 1.2, the minimum continuous mechanical extract high rates are 13 litres per second for a kitchen, 8 litres per second for a utility room, 8 litres per second for a bathroom, 6 litres per second for sanitary accommodation. And this is where a lot of juniors make the next mistake. They check the room rates and think that is the whole job done. But for continuous systems, that is not enough. The table itself and paragraph 1.18 make it clear that the sum of all extract ventilation in the dwelling on its continuous rate should be at least the whole dwelling ventilation rate, given in table 1.3. In other words, the room-by-room extract rates and the whole dwelling airflow requirement have to work together. That is a really important mindset point. The extract rates are not isolated numbers floating on their own. They sit inside the bigger Part F ventilation strategy. And that bigger strategy, as paragraph 1.5 explains, relies on the combination of extract ventilation, whole dwelling ventilation, and purge ventilation. So how should a junior engineer actually use these tables properly? First, identify the system type. If it is intermittent extract, go to table 1.1. If it is continuous extract, go to table 1.2. Second, identify the room type correctly. Kitchen is not the same as bathroom. Utility room is not the same as sanitary accommodation. And a kitchen with a hood extracting to outside is not the same as a kitchen with no outside extract route. Third, do not stop at the table. Ask whether the extract strategy still makes sense when you consider the whole dwelling ventilation rate, the transfer air path through the dwelling, and the wider system type being used. Because a compliant-looking room schedule does not automatically mean a good or compliant ventilation design. There are also a couple of practical installation points juniors often skip past. Paragraph 1.16 says, extract terminals and fans, excluding cooker hoods, should be installed as high as practicable in the room and no more than 400 mm below the ceiling. Paragraph 1.17 says that where a cooker hood is used to extract to the outside, the height above the hob should follow the manufacturer's instructions, or, where unavailable, should be between 650 mm and 750 mm. These are small details, but they matter because they affect whether the installed system actually reflects the design intent. So if you remember this video in one sentence, remember it like this. The extract rates in Part F are easy to copy, but the real skill is knowing which table applies, which room definition you are actually in, and how those rates fit into the wider dwelling ventilation strategy. And one final reminder, this video is based on the latest published 2026 edition of Approved Document F Volume 1. Always check which edition applies to your project before using it for design or compliance decisions.